Yeah, you tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Goldenqueen. H2.0. Yeah. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Welcome to the Queendom, it's 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and realize. If you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up a better scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Ooh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon.
Subscribe, ring that notification bell. Yeah, you don't wanna miss a thing. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden. I am back with another live and another video, y'all. I hope everybody is having an excellent day. It is Wednesday, March 25th, and it's about 2:01 p.m. here Eastern Time in the Carolinas in the United States. The weather is amazing outside. The sun is shining bright, and it is actually pretty warm. So, I will be outside a little bit later, y'all, out and about enjoying nature. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody is having a good Wednesday. It is hump day, is what we call it, y'all. We are halfway through the week. And yeah, I hope everybody's in good spirits and having a good day. But yeah, as y'all can see, I decided today that I want to continue on with my lives as far as doing our food journey here, right? So we're foodies. I know a lot of y'all have come and y'all have expressed to me that y'all are foodies too. So I figured let's have some fun, y'all. So we have decided to um, go on a world tour when it comes to the food and not only just talk about recipes and great dishes that we either have had or we want to try, but we also want to talk about some history, some great history from really great countries and people all over the world. So we do a little bit of mix of that on the lives. Now, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me well because I have another microphone that I am trying out today. So y'all let me know if this microphone sounds okay. Does it sound clear? Does it sound like it's going in and out? Is it muffled? Y'all let me know if it sounds good. Hey, Monty, what's going on? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. How are you doing today, girl? What's going on? What's going on? So let me go ahead and give y'all a brief synopsis of what we'll be talking about on this episode. And this is now episode 3. So episode 1, we were talking a little bit about some American history and cuisines. Episode 2, which was yesterday, we were talking about a few different international cuisines and history backgrounds, right? And today we'll be talking about Asian history, cuisines, and recipes. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to be exploring the deep historical roots and cultural evolution of 7 iconic Asian nations. We are mixing the study of history with the arts of culinary cuisine to understand how geography, ancient dynasties, and global trade created the traditional dishes we celebrate today. So in this video, and this I'm going to lead with because it's actually close to my heart and home, we will be talking about the adobo conquest, how a single Filipino dish opened global minds. We also will be talking about washuku, and that will be explained as far as the spiritual and physical evolution of Japanese home cooking. Then we'll be getting into imperial flavors, from Beijing's street stalls to the 9-course royal court feast of Korean emperors. We'll be talking about the hidden heritage, uncovering the secrets within Vietnamese and Thai culinary traditions. And we also will be talking about ancient diversity, over 8,000-year evolution of Indian food in the global spice trade. So let me go ahead and give y'all a quick synopsis on each. So like I said, what is close and near and dear to my heart, the first one we'll be starting with, we'll be speaking about the Philippines and the adobo conquest. The adobo conquest, we'll be exploring how this one dish opened global minds to Filipino culture. While the name is Spanish, the technique is indigenous, using vinegar and salt to preserve food in the tropical heat. It represents the resilience of the Filipino spirit. And why I say that it's close and dear to my heart is because, and I still consider her to be my mother-in-law, but my son's father's mother is Filipino. And so while being with the family, I've learned so much about the Filipino culture. I've learned how to cook some of the recipes. The food is amazing. And I love it. I love it. So that is near and dear to me. And my son got Filipino blood in him as well because his dad is half Filipino. So that's just a little information that I wanted to give y'all. But like I said, that's close and dear to my heart. Then we'll be moving on to Japan, and we'll be talking about washuku, the home cooking evolution. So what exactly is Japanese food? We have to explain washuku. It's more than a meal. It is a philosophy of harmony and seasonality that has evolved from ancient, easy home cooking into UNESCO protected cultural treasure. We'll also be speaking about China. From Beijing streets to traditional dishes, China offers a contrast between the 10 top most popular foods found on the busy streets of Beijing and the deeply rooted traditional dishes that have fed the world's largest population for 5,000 years. We're looking at how street food reflects imperial history after all. Then we'll be moving on to South Korea and the 9-course Royal Court Fest. What did Korea emperors actually eat? Well, we'll be breaking down 9-course traditional Korean royal cuisines. This wasn't just food. It was a carefully balanced medicinal and artistic presentation designed for the leaders of the Joseon dynasty. Then we'll also be speaking about Vietnam and uncovering some of their hidden cuisines. Vietnam foods hold a hidden cuisine within its layers. By mixing history with culinary study, we see how 1,000 years of Chinese influence and century of French presence created unique, fresh, and aromatic identity of Vietnam today. And we'll also be digging into Thailand. We'll get into some of the top 10 street and traditional icons of foods within the Thailand area. So Thailand is the land of smiles, and its food is its global ambassador. We'll be analyzing the incredible top 10 Thai foods, seeing how street food stalls in Bangkok maintain the same flavor profiles once reserved for the royal palaces of ancient Siam, if I'm saying that right. And last but not least, we also will be talking about India and the diverse history of flavor. Finally, we look at the diverse history of Indian food. This is a journey through 8,000 years of civilization. India didn't just create a cuisine. It created the global spice trade that connected the East to the West, changing the world's palates forever. So y'all, per usual, y'all know I have videos to show, so we can go through and learn some of this together and get ourselves hungry. But this time I came prepared. I packed the snack. So let's go ahead and get into our first video, y'all. And we will be starting off with the Philippines. Let me get this set up here. In just a moment, I'm going to put this on the screen. And we will be talking about the adobo conquest, how one Filipino dish opened global minds to Filipino foods. So let's go ahead and get this video up on the screen. We'll watch it together. And y'all let me know also if the screen is big enough. I kind of have it, proportioned here over to the left to the side of the screen. If y'all can't see it well and y'all want me to make it bigger, just let me know, okay? But if you can see it okay, and if you can hear it okay, let me know. And if you can't, also let me know, and I'll fix it. But let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. I'm gonna meet y'all in the chat.
Told you that a single Filipino dish, born from centuries of history and unique flavors, has quietly conquered the world's kitchens. From Manila street corners to Michelin star restaurants in Paris, from humble sari-sari stores to New York's trendiest food halls, this dish is everywhere. Forget what you think you know about global cuisine. We're about to unveil the surprising, untold story of how one iconic Filipino meal became a culinary sensation that's rewriting the rules of international food, and what truly makes it absolutely, undeniably, impossibly irresistible. Picture this: a bustling restaurant in Brooklyn where hipsters line up for 2 hours. A Michelin-starred establishment in London where reservations are booked 3 months ahead. A viral TikTok video with 47 million views. a home kitchen in Sao Paulo where a Brazilian family gathers every Sunday. What do they all have in common? Adobo. Filipino adobo. Not pasta. Not sushi. Not tacos. Adobo, a humble dish of chicken or pork braised in vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, and peppercorns, has become a global obsession. But here's what nobody tells you. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't marketing. This was migration, passion, and a flavor so universally compelling that it transcended borders, languages, and culinary traditions. This is the story of how adobo went from every Filipino grandmother's kitchen to become one of the world's most beloved dishes. Of all Filipino dishes, and there are thousands, why did adobo become the global ambassador? Not pancit, not lumpia, not even the spectacular lechon. The answer lies in adobo's genius simplicity and infinite versatility. Adobo isn't just a dish, it's a cooking method, a philosophy, a culinary framework that adapts to whatever ingredients you have available. Chicken adobo, pork adobo, squid adobo, vegetable adobo, adobo with coconut milk in the Bicol region, adobo with toyo and minimal vinegar in Manila, adobo with pineapple in some experimental kitchens. Every Filipino family has their version, passed down through generations, each claiming theirs is the authentic one. This beautiful chaos of variations means adobo can be whatever you need it to be, and that's exactly why it conquered the world. Adaptability is survival. Adobo mastered both. The origin story of adobo reads like culinary destiny. Pre-colonial Filipinos were already braising meat in vinegar for preservation in the tropical heat. No refrigeration, just chemistry and ingenuity. When Spanish colonizers arrived in the 16th century, they recognized the technique and called it adobo, from the Spanish adubar, meaning to marinate. But here's the beautiful irony. While the Spanish named it, the technique was purely Filipino, refined over centuries of necessity and innovation. Soy sauce came later through Chinese trade, adding depth and umami. The result? A dish that tells the entire story of Philippine history in every bite. Indigenous ingenuity, colonial influence, Asian trade networks, all simmering together. Food historian Maria Santos explains, adobo is the Philippines on a plate. Complex, adaptive, resilient, and utterly unique despite outside influences. The global adobo story truly begins in the 1960s and 1970s when Filipino nurses, doctors, engineers, and workers started migrating to America, Canada, Europe, and the Middle East in massive numbers. They carried few possessions, but they carried recipes. Rosa Mendoza left Manila for San Francisco in 1972 with $200, 2 suitcases, and her mother's adobo recipe written on a water-stained index card. In America, everything was strange, overwhelming, different, Rosa remembers. But when I cooked adobo in my tiny apartment, suddenly I was home. The smell, the taste, it was my mother's kitchen, my childhood, my identity. Rosa wasn't alone. Millions of Filipinos were doing the same thing in cities worldwide, cooking adobo in foreign kitchens, creating aromatic bridges between the homes they left and the homes they were building. But something unexpected happened. Filipinos didn't just cook adobo for themselves, they shared it. Generously, enthusiastically, almost evangelically. At potlucks, workplace lunches, neighborhood gatherings, Filipinos brought adobo. Try this, they'd say to curious colleagues and neighbors. And people tried, and they were hooked. Mark Jensen, a white American from Ohio, recalls his first adobo experience in 1985. My Filipino coworker, Danny Reyes, brought it to our office potluck. I was skeptical. It looked dark, different. One bite, and I was obsessed. That tangy, savory, slightly sweet complexity? I'd never tasted anything like it. I asked Danny for the recipe immediately. This pattern repeated millions of times across continents. Filipinos weren't just immigrants. They were inadvertent culinary ambassadors, and adobo was their most persuasive argument for Philippine cuisine's brilliance. The 1990s and 2000s saw Filipino restaurants opening in major cities worldwide, and adobo was always the gateway dish. Lola Rosa's in Los Angeles, Maharlika in New York, Romulo Cafe in London, Hapag in Manila becoming internationally recognized. These restaurants faced a challenge. Most non-Filipinos had never heard of Filipino food, so they led with adobo, approachable, delicious, memorable. Chef Antonio Cruz, who opened 3 successful Filipino restaurants in Toronto, explains his strategy. Adobo is our ambassador. It's familiar enough, everyone understands braised meat, but distinctive enough to be exciting. Once customers fall in love with adobo, they trust us. Then they try sisig, care, sinigang. But adobo opens the door. The strategy worked spectacularly. Restaurant reviews in the New York Times, LA Times, and Guardian all praised adobo's addictive tanginess and complex comfort. Adobo was breaking through. But why does adobo resonate so universally? Food scientists have studied this. Dr. Elena Santiago, a food chemist at the University of the Philippines, breaks it down. Adobo hits every flavor receptor humans crave. The soy sauce provides umami and saltiness. The vinegar gives acidity that brightens everything. Garlic adds pungency and depth. Peppercorns bring subtle heat. The braising process creates Maillard reactions, those beautiful brown, caramelized flavors. And if you add a touch of sugar or coconut milk, you get sweetness balancing the acid. It's a complete flavor profile. This combination triggers what food psychologists call sensory-specific satiety resistance. Basically, adobo is so complex and balanced that your taste buds don't tire of it. You can eat it repeatedly without flavor fatigue. That's not accident. That's centuries of culinary evolution creating the perfect dish. Interestingly, adobo shares flavor characteristics with globally beloved dishes, making it instantly accessible while remaining distinctly Filipino. The braised meat technique? Similar to French coq au vin or Jewish brisket. The vinegar and soy combination? Echoes of Chinese red-cooked meats and Japanese teriyaki. The garlic and peppercorns? Mediterranean and Latin American cuisines use these extensively. Food anthropologist James Rodriguez notes, adobo occupies this beautiful intersection of familiar and exotic. A French diner finds the braising technique comforting. A Chinese diner recognizes the soy and vinegar. A Latin American identifies with the garlic and acidity. But the specific combination is pure Filipino genius. It's like adobo speaks everyone's culinary language while maintaining its own.
All right, y'all. So let me tell you, I just want to give you a story time. Adobo, chicken adobo, to be specific, is one of the dishes that my mother-in-law, ex-mother, whatever, JJ's Lola, his grandma, on his dad's side makes. And she makes it wonderfully. And when she first started making it, I tasted it. I said, oh my God, this is so good. And so I spent so much time with her, and she started teaching me how to make it. So I know how to make this dish, y'all. I know how to make chicken adobo. And I'm telling you, it is really tasty. It's not hard to make. It's not expensive to make. But it is really, really good. And of course, it's served with rice so you can stretch it, So this is a meal that is a great, tasty go-to meal if you want to, make a dinner on a budget for a huge family or an event. This is a great meal to make. And the flavors are amazing. And my son, he loves Filipino food because his other grandma is Lola, and that's grandma in Philippines. That's what they call it in Lola. So he calls her Lola. But he loves Filipino food as well. So you heard them speak on some other dishes when it comes to Filipino foods as well. They talk about pancit, and then they say, lumpias. So the pancit is like a noodle dish, and the lumpias is basically like Filipino, like spring roll or egg roll. And they're really amazing. It's like you make it with pork meat, ground pork, and I've learned how to make those too, so I can make some of them at home as well. And I'm telling you, a GJ will run through like a whole plate of those things by himself. And he's 3. He loves it, but amazing flavor. And like I said, a dish that can really stretch, you know what I mean? To feed like a big family, especially if you're on a budget or something like that. So y'all, while we watching some of these things, we can take some tips, from some of these dishes, because we're getting to a place where child groceries and food prices and stuff is going up. People may have big families, and multiple children that they need to feed. And so this is an excellent dish with great flavor, very cost efficient and affordable, and will feed a huge family. So shout out to Maryland. JJ's Lola, and she holds a dear place in my heart. Okay, but yeah, she taught me how to make a lot of these Filipino dishes, and I mean they are excellent. Now the way I make it is like it's satisfiable for the palate, but will I choose hers over mine any day? Yes, absolutely, because she throws down in the kitchen and she loves to cook. That is her love language. She loves to cook, and she makes big spreads of food all the time and makes sure everybody is fed and happy and satisfied. So I do have close to my heart on when it comes to Filipino food. Yeah, I love some Filipino food. But anyway, let's keep going, y'all. This video is almost over. After we finish up the Philippines, we'll be heading over to Japan, and we'll talk about some Japanese history and culinary dishes. All right, y'all. So let's get back into the video. I'll meet y'all in the chat.
Own distinct accent. This cross-cultural resonance made adobo's global acceptance almost inevitable. It was always destined for greatness. Then came social media, and adobo went viral. In 2018, Filipino-American food blogger Isabella Bella Torres posted a simple video, "My Lola's adobo recipe, the only one you need." It got 3.2 million views in a week. Suddenly, #adobo challenge was trending. People worldwide were posting their adobo attempts, variations, fusion experiments. Korean-Filipino fusion adobo with gochujang. Italian-Filipino adobo over pasta. Mexican-Filipino adobo tacos. The algorithm loved it. High engagement, endless variations, beautiful food photography. Food TikTokers like at Filipino Cooking with Karen and at Adobo Addict build audiences in the hundreds of thousands teaching adobo techniques. Instagram became an adobo gallery. #adobo porn became a legitimate hashtag with over 400,000 posts. YouTube cooking channels discovered that adobo recipe in their title tripled their views. Adobo had become algorithmically irresistible. The dish was now officially a global internet sensation. When Anthony Bourdain featured adobo on Part.1 in his Philippines episode, calling it the perfect dish, global culinary culture took notice. Bourdain declared, "If I had to choose one dish that represents the soul of Filipino cooking, it's adobo, complex, comforting, absolutely delicious." Other celebrity chefs followed. Gordon Ramsay attempted adobo on his show and actually praised it, rare for him. Nigella Lawson called it comfort food elevated to art. Andrew Zimmern featured it multiple times. Filipino-American chef Dale Talda opened restaurants celebrating adobo variations. Tom Colicchio included adobo on Top Chef challenges. The James Beard Foundation hosted Filipino food events centered on adobo. Suddenly, adobo wasn't just ethnic food, it was cuisine with a capital C, worthy of serious culinary discussion, prestigious awards, and international recognition. The validation was complete. Adobo's global success did something profound. It forced the international culinary world to acknowledge Filipino cuisine as legitimate, sophisticated, and worthy of attention. For decades, Filipino food was invisible in global cuisine conversations. Not Chinese, not Japanese, not Thai, not Vietnamese. It was overlooked, dismissed, ignored. But adobo was too delicious to ignore. When Michelin-starred restaurants started featuring adobo-inspired dishes, when culinary schools began teaching adobo technique, when food magazines dedicated cover stories to Filipino cuisine with adobo as the centerpiece, everything changed. Chef Carmen Valdez, who fought for years to get Filipino cuisine recognized, says it perfectly. Adobo kicked down the door that was closed to Filipino food. It proved we belong in the global culinary conversation. It proved our food is world-class. One dish changed everything for all of us. The beautiful part? Adobo keeps evolving while staying true to itself. Fine dining restaurants deconstructed adobo glazed short ribs with vinegar foam and crispy garlic chips. Fast casual chains create adobo bowls, adobo burritos, adobo burgers. Home cooks experiment endlessly. Adobo wings, adobo fried rice, adobo pizza, adobo pasta, even adobo donuts, surprisingly good, apparently. Filipino-Canadian chef Mark Santos created adobo poutine, fries topped with adobo meat and gravy. That became a viral sensation. These innovations don't dilute adobo's identity. They prove its versatility and resilience. As food writer Luis Fernandez observes, a dish that can go from grandma's kitchen to Michelin-starred fusion experiment to fast food and still remain recognizably, authentically itself, that's a dish with true greatness. That's adobo. It adapts without losing soul. Adobo's success is creating a rising tide lifting all Filipino dishes. Sinigang, the sour tamarind soup, is appearing on trendy restaurant menus worldwide. Sisig, crispy pork face on a sizzling plate, became a bar food sensation in hipster neighborhoods. Kare, pancit, lumpia, lechon, halo, all following adobo's trail into international consciousness. Food Network.
All right, y'all. So that was the first video I wanted to show y'all about adobo when it comes to Filipino cuisines. And so that is one of like the easiest to make. It's the tastiest and it's very popular, right? But there's more dishes as well that are really excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the next video for y'all. And this one is not that long. It's very short, but it gives you more of a more broad scheme of different recipes when it comes to the Filipino background of food. So let's go ahead and get into that one before we move over to Japanese cuisines. And this one is very short, about 8 minutes long, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this so you can see a few of the different recipes that are really, really tasty. And a lot of it, you know, is you can learn really easily to make. And so y'all let me know if y'all like any of these dishes or if you had any or if they look tasty and good to you. Let's go ahead and get into it, and I will meet y'all in the chat.
Hey guys, my name is Fonzie, and this is Filipino Food 101. On this video, I'll be sharing the top 10 most popular food in the Philippines. In no particular order, let's get started. First, we have adobo. You can't go wrong with adobo, as this is probably the most popular dish in the Philippines. Some even consider this as the Philippines' national dish, which is of course still unofficial. It usually consists of pork or chicken, or sometimes both, stewed or braised in a sauce usually made from vinegar, cooking oil, garlic, bay leaf, peppercorns, and soy sauce. There are also other variants of adobo, like seafood and squid adobo, which I will share to you on the upcoming cooking videos, so make sure to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll be updated with the latest, delicious, and most exciting food videos on this channel. Next we have sinigang. This is probably the second most popular dish, or arguably the most popular dish in the Philippines. Sinigang is most often associated with tamarind in modern times, but it originally referred to any meat or seafood cooked in a sour or acidic broth similar to but differentiated from paksiw. Sinigang typically use pork, beef, fish, shrimp, and sometimes also chicken, stewed with tamarind, tomatoes, garlic, and onions. Most Filipinos like to cook sinigang with green long peppers in order to enhance the taste and add a little spice to the dish. Another variation includes adding locally made miso. Up next is caldereta. This one is what I consider the Philippine stew. Variations of this dish use beef, chicken, or pork. Commonly, the meat is stewed with vegetables and liver paste. Vegetables may include tomatoes, potatoes, olives, bell peppers, and hot peppers. This dish actually has a lot of variants, and I'll be showing how to cook each variant very soon. Next is tinola. Tinola is a Filipino chicken soup usually served as an appetizer or main entree. Traditionally, this dish is cooked with chicken, wedges of green papaya, chili pepper in a broth flavored with ginger, onions, and fish sauce. Some also use sayote or yellow papaya instead of green papaya for the dish. Personally, I prefer to use yellow papaya for this dish as it provides a more dynamic flavor. Then we have sisig. Sisig is a Kapampangan dish made from parts of pig head and chicken liver, usually seasoned with calamansi, onions, and chili peppers. Lucia Conanan of Angeles City, also known as Aling Lusing, has been credited with reinventing sisig by grilling the pig's ears and using the cheeks as well. The Philippine Department of Tourism has acknowledged that her Aling Lusing's restaurant had established Angeles City as the sisig capital of the Philippines in 1974. By the way, if you want me to make a food tour video at Aling Lusing's restaurant, just let me know in the comments down below as I also live in Angeles City. Next is lechon. Lechon is a slow-roasted pig usually served during fiestas and other celebrations. It is usually served with a sauce called sarso, which I call the Philippine gravy. It is made of liver, breadcrumbs, vinegar, sugar, and spices. Think of it as a sweet and savory gravy. Leftover parts from the lechon, such as the head and feet, are usually cooked into another popular dish called lechon paksiw. More on that on the upcoming videos. Then we have lumpia. Consider this as the Philippine egg roll. Filling is usually composed of ground pork with minced onions and carrots, seasoned with salt and pepper and other spices. Filipino lumpia can be differentiated from other Asian egg roll versions, as they use a paper-thin wrapper. It is usually served with sweet and sour sauce, banana ketchup, or seasoned vinegar. Filipino lumpia also have a unique and extremely popular dessert subcategory, the turon. Watch out for that soon, so make sure you subscribe. Kare-kare. Kare-kare is a Philippine stew complemented with a thick, savory peanut sauce. It is made from a variation base of stewed oxtail, vegetables which include eggplant, Chinese cabbage, and other greens are added, usually equaling or exceeding the amount of meat in the dish. Kare-kare is usually made of pork or beef, and sometimes also ox tripe. But this dish can also be made with seafood. Kare-kare is often served with bagoong, or more commonly known as shrimp paste. Kare-kare is actually my personal all-time favorite, and I like it served with sweet and spicy bagoong. Bulalo. Bulalo is a light-colored soup that is made by cooking beef shanks and bone marrow until the collagen and fat has melted into the clear broth. It typically includes cabbage, corn, scallions, onions, garlic, ginger, and fish sauce. It is commonly eaten with rice and is served with soy sauce and calamansi on the side. And finally, we have tokwat baboy, which actually means tofu and pork. It consists of pork ears, pork belly, and deep-fried tofu, and is served in a mixture of soy sauce, pork broth, vinegar, chopped white onions, scallions, and red chili peppers. It is usually served as an appetizer or as a meal served with rice, or as a side dish to rice porridge. So those are the top 10 most popular food in the Philippines. What is your favorite Filipino food? Let me know at the comments down below.
All right, y'all. So that was some of the top 10 Filipino foods to add into our first segment of the live covering Filipino food. And now we'll be moving on to Japanese in Japan. So, y'all, before we get into that video, I'm going to take a quick song break for us, and then we'll be right back and we will be getting into some of the Japanese cuisines. Y'all let me know. What is y'all favorite? Have y'all tasted any of these different Asian foods? We know the most popular one is Chinese food. Like we know that's very Americanized now. And even Japanese food too, right? Because they have a lot of sushi places and they have a lot of ramen places as well. So y'all let me know. Do y'all like Asian foods? Do y'all like sushi? Do y'all like ramen? Do y'all like Chinese food? Anything when it comes to that, y'all let me know. And I'll be right back after this song break.
Cradle and time, Gloria in excelsis. Yeah, yeah, I've been through the fire, walked through the rain, felt that pressure, felt that pain. They told me it was over, told me just give in, but they don't know the power that's living within. Yeah, I'm looking at the mountain, telling it to move. I got a different rhythm, I got a different groove. The chains are getting heavy, well, I'm getting strong. The king is on the throne, yeah, that's where I belong. Now the night is over, I see the day. All the breakthroughs coming, it's here to stay. I face the victory, come what may. It's here to stay. Something has to break. I feel it in the air. I'm casting every burden, casting every care. One night of weeping, but the morning is bright. We're walking out of darkness and into the light. Check the track record, he never failed yet. The miracle is coming, yeah, that's a safe bet. From the impossible to the it is done. The battle's already over, the victory is won. So let the strings soar, let the heavens open wide. I got the creator of the universe on my side. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. The morning is here. Something has to break. The morning is here. Something has broken.
All right, y'all. So we're about to go ahead and get into our next video, and we'll be covering some Japanese dishes and also some Japanese history as well. So let me go ahead and get this video playing for y'all, and I will meet y'all in the chat.
Welcome to Taiji's Kitchen. Today I'm going to explain you about different aspects of Japanese food. So in the last video of Japanese geography, I got a lot of good feedbacks, so I decided to go on further and make more of these videos. And since this is a cooking channel, I thought it was fair to make a video on Japanese food, because there are so many dishes and so many aspects and so many different types of Japanese food. And nowadays, almost everybody knows sushi as a Japanese food, or like miso soup, and perhaps ramen noodle or gyoza or onigiri or some sort. But there are a lot more than that. And also because in this channel, I've been cooking a lot of Chinese influenced dishes, Korean style dishes, and also a lot of Western style dishes. I even made Japanese style pasta. So you might be a bit confused what really is Japanese food, or like what really entitles Japanese food. And so in this video, I'll be talking about three main topics. First, I'm going to talk about Japanese food in general, but also what makes a dish Japanese food. And secondly, I'll be talking about different categories of Japanese food, primarily in accordance with the history of Japan. And third, why is Japanese food considered healthy, or is it really healthy? So I hope this video helps you to understand Japanese food and maybe get more appreciation for the Japanese food. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first topic is what entitles a dish as a Japanese food. Japanese food, or in Japanese, washoku, which is literally translated as Japanese food, was acknowledged by UNESCO in 2013 as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And as the Japanese government was applying for this, they picked 4 aspects that makes up washoku. 1 is a respect for variety and fresh ingredients. 2, the nutritional balance. 3, expression of the nature and the 4 seasons. And 4, close tie with the seasonal celebrations. So first aspect of respect to the variety of fresh ingredients. So as you may have already saw in the last video of Japanese geography, Japan holds a variety of geographical features as well as different climates. This allows the country Japan, even though the soil is not as rich as many other countries in the world, to hold a variety of different ingredients. We also have a lot of mountains, fields, and also ocean, so we are able to gather different ingredients from different parts of Japan. And because of the harsh geographical features, we have a big respect towards nature, and thus big respect for the food that we are able to receive from the nature. And therefore, within washoku, or Japanese food, it's very, very important that we do justice for the ingredients. And this is also connected with the Buddhist philosophy and seeing not only the animals, but also plants as lives. And therefore, we try to bring out as much of the ingredients as possible, and we also try to throw away as little ingredients as possible. And therefore, in compared to like French or Chinese cuisine, where they use a lot of spices or sauces, Japanese food try to keep it simple. This is really to enjoy the fine flavor of each specific ingredients. And within the Japanese culture and Japanese cuisine, eating or cooking is considered one of the most important aspects of life, because we see eating as an exchange of lives. We are receiving the lives from the nature so that we can live further in order to make the world a little bit better place. And that's also why we hold our hands like this and say itadakimasu in the beginning, and also gochusou-sama deshita at the end, as a small prayer to saying thank you for all the lives and all the work that is put into for the food. So the second aspect of washoku is the nutrition balance. Now with the scientific advancement, we know that our body needs different nutrients, vitamins, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates and whatnot. And for the longest time, people didn't know that consciously about the nutrients. But probably through experience, people kind of knew that eating different types of food helps you stay healthy. And also because in Japan, there are a lot of different ingredients, it was very important in Japanese cuisine that you have a variety of ingredients. So in Japanese cuisine, you try to have inside one meal, some from the mountains, something from the sea, some leaves, some root vegetable, fruit vegetable, and of course, always rice, maybe some kind of pickles. And so even without the scientific background, Japanese people somehow knew that it is very important for your body to stay healthy, that you pick up different nutrients and thus for the different ingredients. And in Japanese cuisine, there's a phrase called ichiju sansai, meaning 1 soup and 3 dishes. So if you go to a restaurant in Japan and when you order a meal, you always have a rice. And then to that, you almost always have some kind of soup and then the main dish. And to that, at least 2 kind of side dishes, mostly vegetable side dishes. So in washoku, it is very important to have variety of ingredients and thus several dishes on one meal. So the third aspect is expression of nature and the 4 seasons. So in Japanese culture, cooking was considered as an art form and chef was considered as an artist, where in many cultures, chefs are considered as merely as servants. So in washoku, it is very important that the dishes are presented with aesthetic, not just any pretty, beautiful way, but instead it should be a representative of the nature and also the season. As you may have saw in the video of Japanese geography, Japan has 4 distinct seasons. And each of these seasons are divided into 6 small seasons. And so through one year, you have 24 seasons actually in Japan. And therefore, when you go to more of the high-end restaurants, which I'll explain later, you have a really beautiful presentation of the nature of the season of that time. And that's also another reason why we have different kind of plates. In Western restaurants, the plates are usually quite simple, just white and round. But in Japan, we have different shapes, different form, and also often with different material. You have porcelain, you have glass, you may use some wood or bamboo, or sometimes even just some kind of leaf as a plate. And we also do a lot of foraging, like I showed in the video of horsetail on the fern. We also have a lot of ingredients that is only available in certain seasons. And so if you go to a Japanese supermarket, there's always a section where they sell some seasonal food. Yes, of course, with technology, you can grow pretty much everything throughout the whole year, but the Japanese people prefer more seasonal ingredients because the ingredients that is in the season taste the best and also has the most nutrients. And so a lot of Japanese people are keen on what vegetable and what fish are in season. So the fourth and the last aspect of washoku is the strong connection with seasonal festivals. In Japanese culture, pretty much every month we have some kind of seasonal festival. And most of those festivals would have some special dish that we pretty much only eat in that festival. Starting with the New Year's, which is one of the most important festivals in Japan. I made a vlog on that, so you should check that out. There I'm showing different cultural things that we do in the New Year, and also as a preparation for the New Year, and the special dish of osechi ryori, which over 99% of Japanese people eat as we come in the New Year's. And most of these dishes are only served in the New Year's. And in March, we have Girls' Day. In May, we have Boys' Day. In July, we have so-called Tanabata. In September, we have Otsukimi. This is also connected with the third aspect, but washoku is also very important for the seasonal celebrations. So these four aspects are the reason why Japanese food is special and why Japanese food is considered as an intangible heritage of humanity and not just collection of dishes. Now let's go into the second topic, which is a different category of Japanese food. So the three categories are the traditional Japanese food, semi-modern Japanese food, and the modern Japanese food. So this is a categorization that I made up according to the history of Japan, but I think this just really represents how Japanese food was developed and also evolved throughout. I think it helps you to understand the Japanese food more. So the first category of traditional Japanese food includes all the food before the year 1868, when the Japanese government opened the country to outside world. So until that point, Japan was under a policy of so-called sakoku, which means locking in the country, restricting all the imports and exports with the outside world, except for China, Portugal, and Holland, and only in one port in Nagasaki, which is all the way southwest of Japan. During this time of sakoku, Japan were able to appreciate over 250 years of peace, where there were no wars, no conflicts, which is known as Pax Tokugawana, because during that time, the government was called Tokugawa Bakufu. And during this time, with very little contact with outside world, happened very similar to the Galapagos effect, where a lot of Japanese culture boomed. So a lot of Japanese culture, you may know, were actually developed in this period of Pax Tokugawana. So like kimono, kabuki, no theater, sumo, ukiyo-e, sado or tea ceremony, ikebana or flower arrangement, and also a lot of Japanese dishes were invented. For example, the sushi that you know in the form like nigiri sushi or maki sushi was invented during this period in Edo or Tokyo because it was very close to the sea and was where the government was the capital of Japan at the time. A lot of wealth were also there, so people were able to get the fresh fish. And also another category, tempura, which is actually originally came from Portugal. The name tempura comes from temperar. It means like to mix or to cook. Until that point, Japanese people didn't know about deep frying, but the people saw the Portuguese people. We took that culture and invented tempura out of that. And also, key aspect of this traditional food is the lack of animal meat, except for chicken, because the Buddhist tradition prohibited people to eat four-legged animals. And so until that point, Japanese people didn't eat any pork and beef. And so if it has pork or beef, then it's not traditional Japanese food. So other food that are included in this category are like udon or soba noodles, natto, a lot of pickles, sushi and tempura, of course, yakitori, because chicken was two-legged animal, so it was okay to eat that, unadon, and a lot of the fish dishes. And also within this traditional Japanese food, there are also some subcategories. One is called Shojin Ryori, which was actually invented by the Buddhist monks. Buddhist monks were following the strict rules of Buddhism, so they were not allowed to eat animals or fish. And so Shojin Ryori is a strict vegan diet. And so if you're vegan, then you should go try to find some Shojin Ryori restaurants if you go to Japan, because finding vegan dishes in Japan is quite difficult. And the second subcategory is called Kaiseki Ryori. So kaiseki ryori is a high-end course meal. And so it starts with an appetizer, and then you have first dish, second dish, third dish. It usually have like 5 to 10 dishes. It usually costs about $50 or €50 for lunch. And for dinner, it's usually above 100 to go up to like $500 or euro per person. So it is very pricey, but if you happen to go to Japan, I think you should definitely try this because the experience is definitely worth it. And then another subcategory is wagashi, which literally means Japanese snack or Japanese sweets. These are like daifukumochi, dango, oshiruko, senbei or rice crackers, manju, and variety of so-called nerikiri, which is primarily made with anko, but representing different aspects of nature or like fruits, and it's quite very beautiful. And these are usually served on the side of a tea ceremony. Now let's go into the second category of semi-modern Japanese food. So these are the dishes that were invented after the opening of the country to before the end of the World War II. So after the opening of the country, all the Western culture came in. The main thing that influenced Japanese food was the habit of eating meat. So the dish of sukiyaki or shabu shabu was invented this time, and also a lot of nabe or hot pot dishes. And within this semi-traditional Japanese food, there's a subcategory of so-called yoshoku, which means Western style Japanese food. So these are invented by the chefs who are working at the Western style restaurants. So those includes like tonkatsu from cutlet, korokke, or the original name is croquette, omuraisu, so combining rice in the omelet, a Japanese style hamburg, or like the curry rice. So even though curry is originally from India, because at that time curry was introduced to Japan through the British people, so we kind of consider curry as a more of the Western food, and therefore is in the category of Western Japanese food. And the last category is the modern Japanese food. And this is all the food that were invented after the World War II. As World War II happened and we were in war with primarily against America, China, and Britain, so a lot of the outside ingredients were banned. But after we lost the war at the year 1945, the United States came in and occupied Japan for actually 7 years. And during that time, Japan was very, very poor. And America at that time helped us redevelop our country. The United States brought us a lot of wheat and also milk products. Half of that was trying to help us, but half of that is probably so that America has more export. And through this imported wheat flour, we invented a subcategory of this konamon, which means powder or flour products. So this includes okonomiyaki, takoyaki, yakisoba, which is all primarily made from flour. And there's also another subcategory called chuka, which means Chinese food, because before the war, we occupied quite a large part of China. And as we lost the war, a lot of people came back from there and brought the culture from there. And that's why we have ramen noodle and gyoza as a Japanese food. Even though they were originally from China, this culture of Chinese food evolved in Japan further and came out to ramen noodle. So hopefully this categorization of Japanese food helps you understand different aspects, different historical backgrounds of Japanese food. And maybe next time you cook Japanese food or when you go to a Japanese restaurant, you can kind of think of from which era or which category these dishes are from. And then you may be able to have a little trivial conversation with your friends. And now let's go to the last topic of why Japanese food is healthy. Or is it really healthy? So compared to many Western countries, and especially the US, the obesity rate in Japan is very, very low. So you may have seen like a street of Japan in like video, in some TV or something. Most people you see are very slim. And Japan still holds the high life expectancy of 84 years old. Here I'm going to talk about different aspects and different arguments of why Japanese food is healthy, and I'll let you be the judge of it. The first aspect is very little or no fat in Japanese food. So there are actually 3 ways to make something savory. 1 is using fat or oil, 2 is using sugar, and the 3rd is use of umami. In Japanese food, we try to avoid the first one. So think of some dish that you really crave for. Maybe that is hamburger or like fries or potato chips, pizza or like donuts. And you realize a lot of them contain a lot of fat. And they are very delicious and savory. And it's not to say that you shouldn't eat any of those. But in traditional Japanese food, except for tempura, we use barely any fat. And instead, we are conscious about umami, which was acknowledged recently as the 5th flavor. We incorporate this umami aspect in our cooking. To do that in Japanese cooking, we use a lot of dashi, which is a combination of seaweed and fish broth. If you want to know more in detail of umami or dashi, please go watch this. I'm explaining in detail of what is really umami and how these are incorporated in Japanese food. So the second aspect is rice over wheat. So in Japan, a lot of people eat rice pretty much every day. There are also even a lot of people who eat rice pretty much every meal. I love rice and I eat more rice than wheat products. There are some studies that shows that rice is easier to be digested, but also raise the blood sugar not as much compared to wheat products. And I don't think rice over wheat is not necessarily the rice and the wheat themselves, but rather what you eat them with. So the wheat product like bread or pasta, you almost always have some fat content in them. And you will also never ever eat wheat product as it is without any sauce or additive to it. But rice, like a really good rice, you could really eat it without any additive, without any topping to it. And a lot of the side dish for the rice, they don't necessarily have to be that fatty. A lot of them are quite very simple, like pickles, natto, or like miso soup. None of them have fat in them. Think of eating bread or pasta just with pickles or like some vegetable. Somehow that doesn't work. And the third aspect is fish over meat. A lot of people may know that fish is more healthy than meat, and the main reason why is because of the melting temperature of the meat fat and the fish fat. Beef fat has the melting point above 40 degrees, pork fat between 30 and 40, and chicken fat between 30 and 35. So that means beef fat is always as a solid form in your body, and therefore this can be cause of your blood system to be clotted. Whereas the melting point of the fish fat is between 10 to 20 degrees. And also the animal fat is high in saturated fatty acid. High consumption of these saturated fatty acid raise the risk of high cholesterol and cardiovascular diseases. And the fish acid is unsaturated fat, and therefore fish fat do not have any of these risks. And also a lot of the fish is also high in DHA. Blueback fish like sardines, mackerel, herring, and tuna are also very high in this. And this DHA is said to help to make your brain more active. And the seafood is also high in taurine and EPA, which actually decrease the cholesterol in your bloodstream. So eating fish is actually much more healthy than meat. But this information will never go into the mainstream media, especially in the Western cultures, because those media are usually funded by the meat industries, and they don't want people to know that the fish is healthier than meat, which will decrease the consumption of meat. So the fourth aspect is the fermented food. So Japanese food contain a lot of the fermented food. Of course, that doesn't mean that other countries don't have fermented food, like a lot of cheese or pickle are also fermented food, but Japanese cuisine contain a lot more of those fermented ingredients, especially if you look at the seasoning. So soy sauce, miso, mirin, sake, pretty much all the Japanese seasonings are made through fermentation. Nowadays, these fermented food are considered healthy because they contain a lot of probiotics, small microorganisms to keep your digestive system healthy and to help you digest as well. And also this process of fermentation helps some ingredients enrich the flavor, and also this helps also use less fat in your food. And the fifth aspect is drinking tea over soda and juice. So in Japanese household, we would pretty much always have some kind of tea in the fridge. Nowadays, it may be a bit changing. Most families would never drink soda or juice during a meal. There's sometimes green tea or roasted green tea, but often it's a roasted barley tea. This contains no sugar, no caffeine. This also doesn't kill the flavor of the food. And as we know from many studies that
Okay, y'all, so I just want to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of an introduction into that video about some Japanese foods. A lot that, basically we may know or we may not know, but when it comes to like sushi, miso soup, things of that nature, the main ones, ramen that we probably have had, of course there are go-to favorites, right? But I love the fact that they also tell us about other dishes that we're not very familiar with and the health benefits of some of these foods. Because I know a lot of people probably have seen or said, like, when you go to Japan and you see, maybe Japanese people and stuff, they are a lot and most of the time very slim, and seem to be in good shape and good health. And a lot of that has to do with the diet and what you eat. And so I do have a additional video just to add on to this before we move on, because after that, we'll be going right on over to Chinese food. We'll be talking about China history and Chinese food. But I do have just one little small short video here that I want to show y'all as well when it comes to the Japanese food and Japanese food being mapped. So we're going to get into that and talk about the different areas in Japan, the different history. And again, more cuisine, more food, y'all. That's the whole point of it all. So, we over here, y'all rocking with me. I'm being a little greedy bird. And so I wanted to do these food journey lives because I think they're really fun. I think it's fun because we can learn about different recipes, great foods that we already eat, some foods that we may want to try, but also history in areas around people that we may not have visited or be able to visit, but we can get a little bit of insight and a little history and knowledge and information from sometimes just watching these type of videos. So let's go ahead and get into this one really quick, and then we'll be moving right on along to China. This is Japan. We're still in Japan. So just a few more things I'm going to show y'all on that, and we'll be moving along. I'll meet y'all in the chat.
Japanese food shouldn't be this good. This is a country where only 20% of its land is usable for farming. Not to mention, the country lacks a lot of natural resources, making large-scale food production production here really difficult. But despite this, Japanese cuisine is revered as one of the best in the world for both its minimalism and wide variety of options. So in this video, I want to show you how diverse Japanese food can really be, mapping the cuisine across these islands. As always in these videos, I'm not going to be able to cover everything or every specific region, but I want to give you a very basic guide to the cuisine of one of my favorite countries in the world. Okay, let's move from north to south, beginning with Hokkaido. It's Japan's largest prefecture and is often seen as a winter wonderland. Hokkaido has a very unique history in Japan, as the island has its own native population separate from the Yamato Japanese. And these people are the Ainu. For centuries, the Japanese increased their control over Hokkaido before completely annexing the island during the Meiji Restoration. But to this day, some Ainu traditions still survive through their food. Some of these dishes include ruibe, an Ainu tradition of freezing fish like salmon and eating the fish as sashimi as it thaws out. It, of course, has a frozen texture that's supposed to melt in your mouth. The tradition likely comes from Hokkaido's harsh winters, as Ainu fishers preserve their seafood by burying it in the snow and eating it throughout the season. Some other Ainu dishes also include sito, a type of dumpling made from millet and rice, and sayo, a thin porridge made from boiling grains and local ingredients. Going to Hokkaido and covering Ainu cuisine is something that I really want to do in the future someday, so if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments. Some iconic Hokkaido dishes are more recent though, like soup curry, a liquid curry dish from Sapporo, created by a coffee shop in the 1970s. It's now a Japanese phenomenon, and there's hundreds of soup curry restaurants across Sapporo. Next, let's move on to the island of Honshu, the largest of the main islands of Japan. In the north is the Tohoku region, which happens to be the least visited region of Japan. But nonetheless, this region is full of beautiful landscapes and diverse dishes. Starting with Aomori, being one of the snowiest places in the world and smack between three seas, seafood and soups are a significant part of the cuisine here. For example, there's ichigo ni, a clear broth soup made with sea urchins and abalone. Aomori is also known for kake, which is this triangle shape made from either soba or wheat, and kayake miso, which is a seafood, egg, and miso dish grilled on a big scallop shell. Also, Aomori is crazy famous for apples in Japan. The prefecture's apple fame actually comes from the Meiji era, as a weird plan to employ former samurai who were out of work due to the westernization of the country. Many unemployed samurai took on fruit farming across Japan, and in Aomori, they cultivated apple seeds from places like Europe and America, making it into the apple capital of the country. Further down in Tohoku, you can find some other unique dishes. In Iwate, there's azuki batto, this noodle dish simmered with sweet red bean. And in Akita, there's tofu castella, which is tofu mixed with sugar and eggs into a sponge cake. In Miyagi, you can find a lot of rice-based dishes like zunda mochi, which is covered in crushed edamame, and abura fudon, which is this rice bowl of fried wheat gluten. It kind of basically looks like fried French baguettes. The fried wheat was used as a replacement for fried tofu, as tofu can quickly go bad. Several of Miyagi's food traditions were developed for preservation by one of the prefecture's early daimyos, Masamune Date, who helped turn Miyagi into one of the rice capitals of Japan, and developed sendai miso, a style of miso that uses a high amount of salt to help preserve food for longer periods of time. And sendai miso was used across Japan for decades, preserving food all around the country. The last place I want to mention in Tohoku is Fukushima, which of course is now famous for its nuclear meltdown. But Fukushima is a giant prefecture, and the nuclear disaster only makes up for a tiny portion of its territory. This place is highly regarded in the country for a few traditions, like basashi, which is raw horse meat. It's most popular in the city of Aizu Wakamatsu, and I think the city has one of the most underrated castles in Japan. Fukushima is also home to Kitakata City, a mecca for ramen lovers, with its own regional soy sauce ramen. It's one of the oldest styles of ramen in Japan, created by an apprentice from the first ramen shop in the 1920s. Next is the Kanto region. And no, not that Kanto. This is the most urbanized part of Japan, and it's home to Tokyo. Now Tokyo is home to a lot of Japan's most recognizable dishes, such as nigiri sushi, a specific style of sushi where a slice of sashimi is placed on top of vinegar rice. I made a whole video about the origins of nigiri sushi if you want to know more about that. It's also the city that developed yoshoku, an entire sub-cuisine of Japanese food that's been inspired by Western cuisines, like hambagu, katsudon, and Japanese curry. Again, I made a whole video on this. And Tokyo, of course, is where the first ramen shop opened, bringing noodle cooks from China, which I also made a video about. But of course, Kanto isn't just Tokyo. Up in Utsunomiya, this city happens to be the gyoza capital of Japan, another tradition brought over by Chinese influence. But gyoza has evolved into a very Japanese tradition, using thinner layers of wheat, more garlic, and being pan-fried at all times.
All right, y'all. So I was just trying to show y'all a little bit of some of those dishes and histories in addition to the Japanese culture. But we're going to go ahead and move right along, y'all. We're going to get into our next one. And this is people, I believe, favorite food, honestly, in the United States. And I can only speak on the United States because I live here. But I hear so many people saying that, like, one of their favorite cuisines or one of their favorite dishes and foods here is Chinese food. Now, we do know that a lot of Chinese food sometimes that we have here is Americanized. So it's probably and most likely not the same taste, not the same essence or flavor that you'll probably get if you are in China and, you know, eating food directly from China. Their restaurants are being prepared there. We have Americanized it, but a lot of people say Chinese food is their favorite. So let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. And I will meet y'all in the chat.
Chinese cuisine is a rich tapestry of flavors, textures, and culinary traditions that has evolved over thousands of years. Renowned for its diversity, Chinese cuisine reflects the vastness of the country's landscape and the multitude of cultures within it. Regional variations play a significant role, with distinct culinary styles such as Cantonese, Sichuan, Hunan, and more, each offering unique taste profiles. Dumplings, dim sum, Peking duck, hot pot, and various noodle dishes are just a few examples of the diverse and iconic offerings in Chinese cuisine. Today we know about the most popular 10 Chinese foods. Let's begin it. Number 10. Yangzhou fried rice. Hailing from Yangzhou in Jiangsu province, this fried rice dish is a harmonious blend of fluffy rice, eggs, diced vegetables like carrots and peas, and proteins such as shrimp, pork, or ham. Lightly seasoned with soy sauce and sometimes a touch of sesame oil, Yangzhou fried rice showcases a delightful medley of flavors and textures in every bite. Number 9. Sweet and sour pork. A classic Cantonese dish, sweet and sour pork features crispy fried pork pieces coated in a tangy sauce made from vinegar, sugar, ketchup, and sometimes pineapple juice. The dish often incorporates colorful bell peppers, onions, and pineapple chunks, providing a perfect balance of sweet and tangy flavors. Number 8. Spring rolls. Spring rolls, known as chuanjuan in Chinese, are a beloved culinary delight celebrated for their crispy exterior and delectable fillings. These delectable rolls are a staple in Chinese cuisine, enjoyed both within the country and internationally. The preparation involves wrapping a delicate wheat flour wrapper around a flavorful mixture of vegetables like shredded cabbage, carrots, mushrooms, and bean sprouts, often seasoned with soy sauce and other spices. Number 7. Chow mein. The term chow mein translates to stir-fried noodles in Cantonese. This dish typically features thin, egg-based noodles that are stir-fried in a wok until they achieve a perfect balance of crispness and tenderness. The preparation involves tossing the noodles with a mix of ingredients like vegetables, meats, such as chicken, beef, pork, or shrimp, and a flavorful sauce.
All right, y'all. So that was the first intro video that I wanted to show you. So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes, especially when it comes to like some of the histories, because that's what I like a lot when it comes to doing these type of videos. Yes, I love the food, y'all. I'm greedy. I love to eat, and I love the different flavors and the diversity of the foods. But what also I love the most is the history. And so let's go ahead and get into this next video, and I'm gonna show y'all a portion of that as we watch some of these delectable foods being prepared as well on the screen. We also will be hearing some dynamic histories when it comes to the background of the countries and the people, and that's one of the things that I really love the most. So let's go ahead and get into this video, and I will meet y'all back in the chat again. Thank you all for who's joined and who is listening. I really appreciate it, and I hope y'all are enjoying the content. And I hope y'all are enjoying this information, history, and recipe. Let's get into it, y'all. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the captivating world of Chinese cuisine. Join us as we embark on a delicious journey. We'll explore the rich history, diverse regional specialties, and cultural significance of Chinese food. From the spicy Sichuan dishes to the delicate flavors of Cantonese cuisine. From steaming dumplings to savory stir-fries, Chinese food offers something for everyone. Let's begin our exploration of Chinese cuisine, where history, culture, and taste intertwine to create a truly unforgettable dining experience. Chinese cuisine stands as one of the world's oldest and most influential culinary traditions. Its roots reach back thousands of years. The influence of Chinese cuisine is undeniable. One of the remarkable aspects of Chinese cuisine is its emphasis on fresh, seasonal ingredients. Techniques like stir-frying, steaming, and braising are employed to preserve the flavors and textures of each component. Throughout this journey, we'll delve into the heart of Chinese cuisine. The story of Chinese cuisine begins in the fertile lands of ancient China, particularly around the Yellow River Basin. This region, blessed with favorable conditions for agriculture, became the cradle of Chinese civilization and its culinary traditions. Over time, as communities grew and interacted, culinary knowledge spread and diversified. The development of pottery during the Yangshao culture marked a pivotal moment in Chinese culinary history. As Chinese civilization progressed, so too did its culinary arts. The Han Dynasty ushered in a golden age for Chinese cuisine. The expansion of the empire brought about increased trade and cultural exchange, introducing new ingredients and culinary ideas from far-off lands. Spices and exotic fruits arrived along the Silk Road, adding exotic notes to the Chinese palate. The concept of yin and yang found expression in the careful pairing of ingredients and cooking methods. The imperial court played a significant role in shaping culinary trends. The invention of the wok during the Ming dynasty revolutionized Chinese cooking. The imperial courts of China played a pivotal role in shaping the course of Chinese culinary history. Emperors and their entourages demanded the finest ingredients and the most skilled chefs. Dishes were not merely meant to nourish, but also to impress, often taking on symbolic meanings. The influence of the imperial court extended beyond the palace walls, as culinary trends trickled down to the wider population. Cookbooks and treatises on gastronomy emerged, documenting recipes, cooking techniques, and the art of dining. In the heart of Chinese culture lies a profound reverence for food, extending far beyond mere sustenance. One of the most striking aspects of Chinese food culture is the importance placed on fresh, seasonal ingredients. The preparation of food is also a deeply social and familial activity in Chinese culture. Beyond the home, food plays a vital role in fostering social connections and building relationships. Whether it's a simple bowl of noodles shared with colleagues or a lavish banquet to celebrate a special occasion, food brings people together and creates lasting memories. Chinese dining is an art form in itself, a symphony of flavors, textures, and aromas designed to delight the senses and nourish the soul. Chinese meals are typically served family style, with a variety of dishes arranged in the center of the table for all to share. This communal approach to dining fosters a sense of togetherness and encourages conversation and interaction among diners. The shared experience of tasting, savoring, and discussing the food creates a sense of intimacy and connection. Tea, another integral part of Chinese culture, is also served throughout the meal, cleansing the palate and aiding digestion. Chinese cuisine is not a monolith, but rather a mosaic of regional variations, each reflecting the unique geography, climate, and cultural influences of its locale. From the fiery spices of Sichuan to the delicate flavors of Cantonese cuisine, each region boasts its own culinary traditions and specialties. These regional variations are a testament to the diversity and adaptability of Chinese culture. For example, the mountainous region of Sichuan is renowned for its use of pungent spices, particularly the Sichuan peppercorn. In contrast, the coastal province of Guangdong, known for its Cantonese cuisine, favors lighter, more delicate flavors, often incorporating seafood and fresh herbs. Chinese cuisine is renowned for its vast regional diversity, with each region boasting its own unique culinary traditions and flavor profiles. Over centuries, Chinese culinary arts have evolved into 8 distinct culinary traditions, each representing a specific geographical area. Sichuan cuisine, celebrated for its bold and spicy flavors, characterized by the liberal use of Sichuan peppercorns, chili peppers, and garlic. Cantonese cuisine, known for its emphasis on fresh, light, and delicately balanced flavors, with seafood featuring prominently. Shandong Cuisine showcases the abundance of seafood and wheat-based products with a focus on umami flavors. Jiangsu cuisine, characterized by its delicate, balanced flavors, intricate knife skills, and meticulous attention to detail. Beyond the 8 culinary traditions, each province in China boasts its own unique culinary identity. Yunnan cuisine reflects diversity, incorporating influences from neighboring Southeast Asian countries. Hunan cuisine, celebrated for its fiery spiciness with a focus on stir-frying and smoking techniques. Fujian cuisine, known for its light, delicate flavors, often incorporating seafood, mushrooms, and bamboo shoots. Zhejiang cuisine, renowned for its fresh seafood, fertile valleys, and rich culinary heritage. Zhejiang cuisine is characterized by its light, refreshing flavors. Seafood features prominently in Zhejiang dishes, often steamed or stir-fried with minimal seasoning. From mountains to coastlines, China's diverse geography plays a pivotal role in shaping its regional cuisines. The availability of ingredients varies dramatically from region to region. In the mountainous regions of Western China, spices play a crucial role in both flavoring and preserving food. Along China's eastern coast, seafood reigns supreme. Coastal cuisines tend to favor lighter cooking methods, such as steaming and stir-frying. Each region offers a unique culinary adventure, inviting food enthusiasts to explore the vast and flavorful world of Chinese cuisine. Beyond the broad strokes of regional culinary traditions, each province in China boasts a treasure trove of unique dishes and culinary specialties that reflect the local culture, history, and culinary ingenuity. Exploring these regional specialties is a delightful way to delve deeper into the nuances of Chinese cuisine. Peking duck from Beijing is a culinary icon of China's capital city. The duck is meticulously prepared, roasted until the skin is crispy and golden brown, and served with thin pancakes, spring onions, cucumber, and sweet bean sauce. Xiaolongbao, originating from Shanghai, are delicate soup dumplings that are a testament to the city's culinary finesse. Thin, translucent dough encases a flavorful broth and savory filling, typically pork or crab. Xiaolongbao are traditionally steamed in bamboo baskets and enjoyed piping hot. Mapo tofu, a classic dish from Sichuan province, embodies the region's love for bold, spicy flavors. Soft, silken tofu is cooked in a fiery sauce made with chili bean paste, Sichuan peppercorns, and ground pork, creating a symphony of textures and flavors. Ha gao, these delicate shrimp dumplings, are a staple of Cantonese dim sum. Translucent wheat starch wrappers encase plump, juicy shrimp, often with a hint of bamboo shoots or pork fat for added flavor. Ha gao are steamed to perfection, showcasing the natural sweetness of the shrimp. Chinese cuisine is renowned for its intricate tapestry of flavors, a harmonious blend of sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and spicy notes. These 5 fundamental flavors are deeply rooted in Chinese culinary philosophy. Sweet flavors represent nourishment and balance. Sour flavors stimulate digestion and cleanse the palate. Salty flavors enhance other tastes and balance fluids. Bitter flavors have a cleansing and detoxifying effect. The concept of balance is paramount in Chinese culinary philosophy. The 5 flavors create a harmonious symphony of tastes that delights the palate and promotes well-being. Each flavor affects the body's organs and energy systems. A balanced combination of flavors is essential for health and vitality. Traditional Chinese medicine views food as medicine. The 5 flavors restore and maintain balance within the body. A well-balanced Chinese meal incorporates all 5 flavors and yin and yang ingredients. This holistic approach nourishes both body and soul. Chinese cuisine is a treasure trove of traditional recipes passed down through generations. These dishes are more than just food, they are culinary stories, each bite a testament to Chinese traditions. Dumplings, small parcels of dough filled with savory or sweet fillings, are a culinary treasure. They symbolize wealth and prosperity, enjoyed during festive occasions. Noodles, representing longevity, are versatile and beloved in Chinese culture. Spring rolls, crispy and golden, symbolize wealth, enjoyed during the Spring Festival. Each traditional Chinese recipe carries a story, a glimpse into history and culture. These dishes evolved over centuries, shaped by local ingredients and culinary techniques. Mapo tofu, a fiery Sichuan dish, embodies bold, spicy flavors. Legend says it was created by an innkeeper's wife using leftover tofu and spices. Kung Pao chicken, named after Qing dynasty official Ding Baozhen, is another classic. Known for his love of spicy food, this dish is a tribute to his legacy. Traditional recipes showcase the resourcefulness and ingenuity of the Chinese people. From dim sum to street food, Chinese cuisine captivates and preserves heritage. As our culinary journey through the vast and flavorful world of Chinese cuisine comes to a close, we're left with a profound appreciation for its enduring legacy and its continued evolution. From the bustling street food stalls of Beijing to the Michelin-starred restaurants of Hong Kong, Chinese cuisine continues to captivate taste buds and inspire culinary innovation worldwide. The global impact of Chinese food is undeniable. It's become an integral part of the culinary landscape in countless countries. From neighborhood takeout joints to fine dining establishments, Chinese flavors have found a welcome home in hearts and kitchens across the globe.
Okay, y'all. So that was just a little bit on Chinese food, okay? And honestly, I think a lot of people are really like Chinese food. I remember, I'm originally from the city, and now I do live here in the South or whatnot in North Carolina. But up in the city, to be quite honest, the Chinese food up there is very different from like Chinese food here, but it's also Americanized Chinese food, right? So like legitimate Chinese food in China, I can almost imagine probably tastes extremely different and probably a lot better. However, we enjoy us a good old Chinese food dish now. So what is y'all favorite Chinese food dish? The funniest thing, right, that they have always told me when I go, to the Chinese restaurant is like, yo, you will go to a Chinese restaurant and get the most American version dish that's on the menu. Because one of my favorite things from getting at a Chinese restaurant is like fried chicken wings and either fried rice or French fries. You're like, yo, why you ordering that from the Chinese restaurant? That's so American. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you get like something that's closer to a more legitimate Chinese dish? And so I was like, you know what? Y'all right. Let me start trying some other things, on the menu. There's more so traditional. But what I'm telling you I will do, if I ever get the chance to visit and travel and go to China, I'm going to legitimately taste just about everything that they got on their menus or whatnot in China, like the legitimate Chinese food. So what do y'all think about that video and how we have come so far as you know, all of the places that we covered? So first we covered the Philippines, y'all. Our journey did begin, you know, with the adobo, and we talked about other Philippine dishes as well. We then went ahead and moved on to Japan. Y'all know we covered some of the Japan dishes, and like when it comes to Japanese food, one of my favorites when it comes to Japanese food is, yes, I like ramen. And we all know a good udon noodle. We all probably had them up in our house somewhere in some place. And it's a nice little go-to. It's cheap. You know what I'm saying? But I do also like, I also like the legitimate ramen, like Japanese ramen. And we have a lot of ramen restaurants that have popped up here in the town where I live at, right? Where they have like legitimate Japanese ramen. But my extreme favorite when it comes to Japanese food is sushi. Sushi, poke bowls, all of that. That is my ultimate favorite. I know it's plain, I know it's basic, and I know like if I was to go to Japan, they got a lot more foods and cuisines to offer than just ramen and sushi. But those are my favorite too. And then of course we're leaving now from China and Chinese food. And we'll be moving on to South Korea, right? So we're going to learn about some traditional dishes and history around South Korea. So let me go ahead and take a quick song break, y'all. Really, really quick. And then after that, we're going to come back with some South Korean dishes. Oh, what's up, V-Love? What's going on? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're doing a part 3. On the food journey and the food lives that we're doing. And today we are doing Asian cuisines. So we're going a little bit across the board when it comes to different Asian countries and cuisines. So yeah, we're just now about to get into Korea. We're going to do that right after the song break. So give me a quick minute, y'all. I'm going to play this song. We'll be right back, okay?
Stood up tall for the oath they swore to give their all. They spoke of orders, lawful and true. A clear message meant for me and you. But the air grew cold and the line was crossed. A furious price at any cost. A simple warning, clear and bright. Met with a fury late one night. The headline screams, chilling sound. Political peace is nowhere found. Punishable by death. The message read, a fire lit under every head. For lawmakers sworn to oppose the pay. Now caught in the heat of a social rage. Caught in the heat of a social rage. Call this edition on a digital stage. Turning the Constitution's page. He reposted words dark and profane, inviting the crowd to call
All right, y'all. So that was just a quick song. That was playing one of Mama Warrior songs that she made. But let's go ahead. We're gonna get into our next video, y'all. So we're moving right along to Korea. And we're gonna learn about some traditional dishes that they have in Korea, but we also gonna learn about some history as well, which is what I'm trying to do with this segment, where we add in a little bit of history and a little bit of culinary. So when we look at Korean royal cuisine, we stepping into the Joseon dynasty. What the emperors ate was a 9-course study in medicinal balance and artistic presentation. By mixing the history of the royal court with the scientific necessity of fermentation, like the 1,000-year legacy of kimchi. Kimchi is really, really good for you. I don't know if y'all know that, or have you tried it or researched it or heard that before, but kimchi is really, really good for you. We see a culture that views food as life-giving medicine. Korea reminds us that history isn't just found in books, it's kept alive in the jars sometimes of fermented traditions passed down through generations. So let's go ahead and get into this next video, y'all. Now again, this video that I'm showing y'all is 9-course traditional Korean royal cuisines, what Korean emperors used to eat. So this is very interesting. I like to get into that, and you know, I'm a little bit of a nerd, y'all, so I like this type of stuff. It really piques my interest, so I just come on here and share it with y'all, see if y'all like it too. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this video, and I will meet y'all in the chat.
One of my favorite things to do in Korea is visit the palaces, because I'm infatuated with history. I love looking at the beautiful ancient architecture. I love seeing how daily life used to function. And I'm really curious, what did they eat back then? So today, I'm gonna find out. But to do that, I think I need to change into something more appropriate. Here we go. How do I look? Got quite a few stares as I walked into the restaurant. I guess no one told him the emperor was showing up today. I'm at the Hamiri restaurant here in Seoul. I'm about to embark on a 9-course imperial food adventure. And of course, the number 9 is very significant because number 9 in Chinese culture and in Korean culture means longevity. And if you're the emperor, you want to be the emperor for as long as you can. This is literally what the emperor of Korea would eat back in the day. And for my meal, I'm opting for plan number B, which includes stewed beef ribs, steamed king prawn, pan-fried beef.
Assortment of 9 Korean foods and wraps, Korean royal fire pot, grilled tenderloin and pine mushrooms, a special seasonal dish, marinated abalone, and grilled ginseng beef.
A meal fit for an emperor, literally. Now, I don't know if the emperor actually wore this when he ate, because it's beautiful, but it's very cumbersome. I mean, getting your sleeves on your food seemed really easy to do in this getup. Oh, and check this out, guys. When the emperor back in the day wants to take some food photos for, I don't know, Imperial Gram, he has to get his phone out from his sleeves, because this is where they keep stuff. There's no other pockets, and then take his food photos. And upload. All right, let's literally roll up our sleeves and dig in. First course, pumpkin porridge. All the silverware here, this is made out of brass. And that's because there's a fear of poisoning for the emperor, and the brass will change color when it comes in contact with poison. So this is very traditional dishware. It looks like it has a little date floating on top. I guess this is how the emperor of Korea used to get a date. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think there's actually any rice in here. This is just all pureed pumpkin. Ooh, that is really pumpkin-y. That tastes like Halloween in a good way. Flavorful Halloween. A sweet, really, really creamy. I'm supposed to eat a spoonful of the pumpkin porridge and then a spoonful of the water kimchi. Wow. It's very vinegary and peppery, and then another spoonful of this. So you just like go back and forth. I don't know which one is chasing which. This is really good. I forgot something. I just ate that pumpkin congee and I wasn't paying attention to the spoon. I don't know if it changed color or not. Let me just test one of these dishes just to be safe. Okay, no change in color. I think I'm good. The japchae, this is actually a really special dish that's usually only made for holidays, special occasions, because this dish is actually really hard to make, or time consuming to make. You have to stir fry each of the ingredients separately and then mix it together. I like this because it is extremely sesame-y. Is that a word? It's got little bits of sesame and doused with sesame oil, crispy vegetables, and glass noodles. That's why it's so addictive. This is tom pyeonse. This is a very imperial dish. It's green bean noodles, and it looks like it has some preserved veggies. It has bean sprouts, and it looks like seaweed in here. That's a dish made for a king. The sprouts are my favorite part of this dish. Really crunchy, flavorful, but the noodles are very springy, extremely light. And of course, this is just salad. I don't even know if the Emperor of Korea actually has salad back then. I mean, ask yourself, if you're the Emperor, you can have any dish on the face of this planet, you're gonna ask for a salad? That's like having Gordon Ramsay as your personal chef and asking for a Caesar. This is stewed ribs or stewed kalbi. It looks like it has some radish in here, beautiful stewed pieces of beef. This nasty thing, what are you doing here? Emperors do not eat broccoli. Isn't that better now that thing is gone? Some mushrooms, carrots, and just a tiny bit of broth. I bet you this is good. Excuse me, can the Emperor get a straw, please, for the soup? Also, broccoli was found on the Emperor's plate. Now, I don't know who the Imperial chef is, but I think he needs to be fired or beheaded or one of the two. I've just made my first Imperial decree. No broccoli is ever allowed again on Imperial grounds. Yeah, it's good to be the king. This beef looks like it's been braised so nicely. So beefy and tender. It's a little sweeter than I like, but that stew's so nice too. All that flavor is just kind of trapped in that piece of meat. The Emperor approves. Oh, I found a piece. Look at this. This is like 50% fat. Now, I know it's a little sweet, so I'm gonna just add a little chili on there. But if you don't eat it with something a little acidic, maybe like a kimchi or something, that beef's gonna feel too rich. And I should know, I'm the Emperor. I'm super rich. And when something is too rich, I know it. This is yukjang. First of all, look at how beautiful it is. It's just a beautiful piece of beef. A little garlic on top, scallions, some pickled vegetables on the side. And let me just, oh wow. Do you guys see how easily this thing is breaking apart? Oh, it's chewy because of the sticky rice flour, but somehow the meat breaks down so perfectly well. This is the grilled tenderloin and pine mushroom. It's on a rock because back in the day, we didn't have gas and burners. And oh, what is this thing doing here? I said no broccoli. Ugh, I'm telling you, heads are gonna roll. Look at this. I just love how this heated. Oh, that is a beautiful charred smoky flavor. Oh my God. This piece looks like it has a little more fat content. And I'm just gonna pair that up with a mushroom. Who says things weren't good back then? I mean, they might not have had a functioning sewer system and there was no AC in the summer, but dang, do they know how to grill a steak. This is Royal Singsono, basically Royal Hot Pot. Looks like it's got a lot of different things going on for it. Some jujubes, ginkgo nuts, shrimp, mushrooms, carrots, ginger, pepper. It's colorful and this is so adorable. I'm really curious how this soup tastes. Oh, all hail the Emperor, that's good. Wow. I mean, there's definitely a lot of ingredients, so you expect this soup to be really rich in flavor, and oh, it delivers. It's not overly heavy, it's just light and aromatic and flavorful. I'm really curious to taste some of these ingredients. It's a prehistoric dumpling. Oh, that's a good dumpling. Inside, I mean, it's gorgeous. Emperor likey. This is the ultimate imperial food. This is called kujarpan. Ku means 9, and pai means plate. It has little crepes in the middle and just little ingredients all around. Squash, pork, egg yolk, preserved veggies, seaweed, fern, carrots, and egg whites. And you're supposed to wrap it up in these little miniature crepes. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of everything. And the sauce is a little wasabi sauce. There we go. Multi-use sleeves. That was really good. That bite was just so light and airy and chewy. This is like the anti-Kim Kardashian dish. No drama whatsoever. All the flavors blend so well with each other. I mean, 9 ingredients got together, instantly became friends, and just complement.
Okay, now that he said the Kim Kardashian dish, I did like to put that video on there and show that one for y'all because it has some really cool recipes. They look like they're really tasty. I haven't had much Korean food, to be quite honest, but I would like to. I would like to, and I would love to try it. And he's really hilarious. So I wanted to go ahead and play a little bit of that video to add a little bit of comedy to it. But of course, y'all know we're doing some history here along with the recipes and the foods and the cuisines. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the next video for y'all, where we're going to be talking about the 10 most popular foods in South Korea you must try. And these are street foods, you know, so not necessarily dishes that maybe royalty or the palaces may serve. These are like some nitty gritty good foods that you can get, you know what I'm saying, like at the street vendor or restaurants of that nature. And a lot of times that's where we at, y'all. That's where we getting it from. Because we not in palaces. We not, you know, necessarily royalty ain't going to be able to, you know, eat some of the dishes that they prepare that way. We're going to be getting our stuff from the people. So I wanted to go ahead and play a little bit of that for y'all too. So we can have, you know, just a little mix of it too. You can see what it's like, you know, on both ends. So let's go ahead and get into this next video, y'all, and we will be right back. I'll meet y'all in the chat, and let's watch this together. Puppy, 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 be quiet, boy.
South Korea is a paradise for food lovers. From sizzling barbecue to spicy stews, Korean cuisine is packed with bold flavors and unique textures. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 most popular foods in South Korea that you must try. Let's get started. Number 10. Tteokbokki spicy rice cakes. A beloved Korean street food, tteokbokki features chewy rice cakes coated in a sweet and spicy gochujang, red chili paste sauce. Often mixed with fish cakes, boiled eggs, and green onions, it's a must-try snack. Found at street stalls and markets, tteokbokki offers an addictive balance of heat and sweetness, making it a favorite for both locals and visitors craving bold flavors. Number 9. Samgyeopsal Korean barbecue pork belly. Korean barbecue is legendary, and samgyeopsal is its star. Thick pork belly slices are grilled at the table, dipped in sesame oil with salt, and wrapped in lettuce with samjang, spicy soybean paste, garlic, and kimchi. This dish is best enjoyed with friends and soju, creating a fun dining experience. The crispy, smoky meat combined with fresh veggies makes it an irresistible meal for all barbecue lovers. Number 8. Jjajangmyeon, black bean noodles. Jjajangmyeon is a comforting Korean Chinese dish made with thick wheat noodles covered in a rich black bean sauce. The sauce, made from chunjang, fermented black bean paste, pork, and onions, has a deep umami flavor. Popular for takeout, it's also a tradition on Black Day, April 14th, when singles eat it together. The savory and slightly sweet taste makes it one of Korea's most loved noodle dishes. Number 7. Kimchi jjigae kimchi stew. A staple in Korean households, kimchi jjigae is a spicy, savory stew made with aged kimchi, pork, tofu, and vegetables. The longer it simmers, the richer the flavor becomes. Served boiling hot, it's best enjoyed with a steaming bowl of rice. Loved for its deep, tangy, and spicy taste, this comforting dish is perfect for cold days and a go-to meal in Korean cuisine. Number 6. Kimbap, Korean seaweed rice rolls. Often called Korea's sushi, kimbap consists of seaweed-wrapped rice filled with vegetables, egg, and meat. Unlike sushi, kimbap rice is seasoned with sesame oil instead of vinegar, giving it a unique flavor. Popular versions include tuna, bulgogi, and spicy kimchi kimbap. It's an ideal on-the-go meal, perfect for picnics and road trips. Convenient and affordable, kimbap is widely available in markets, restaurants, and convenience stores. Number 5. Jimdak, braised soy sauce chicken. Hailing from Anong, Jimdak is a delicious braised chicken dish cooked with soy sauce, potatoes, glass noodles, and vegetables. It's slightly sweet, savory, and mildly spicy, making it an incredibly flavorful meal. The tender chicken and chewy noodles absorb the rich sauce, creating an unforgettable taste. Often shared in large portions, Jimdak is perfect for gatherings and is one of Korea's most satisfying comfort foods. Number 4. Bibimbap, mixed rice bowl. One of Korea's most famous dishes, bibimbap features a bowl of rice topped with assorted vegetables, beef, a fried egg, and gochujang, red chili paste. Before eating, everything is mixed together, creating a perfect balance of flavors and textures. Dulcet bibimbap is served in a hot stone bowl, making the rice at the bottom crispy. It's a visually stunning, healthy, and delicious meal loved worldwide. Number 3. Sundae Korean blood sausage. A must-try Korean street food, sundae is a type of blood sausage made by stuffing pig's intestines with glass noodles, barley, and pork blood. It's typically served with salt, spicy dipping sauce, or tteokbokki sauce. The chewy texture and rich, earthy flavor make it a unique experience for food lovers. Some variations include adding perilla leaves or spicy seasonings for extra depth and taste. Number 2. Japchae, stir-fried glass noodles. Japchae is a stir-fried noodle dish made from sweet potato glass noodles, beef, and vegetables. Lightly seasoned with soy sauce, sesame oil, and garlic, it has a slightly sweet and savory taste. Originally a royal dish, japchae is now commonly served at parties and celebrations. The combination of chewy noodles and crunchy vegetables makes it a delightful and well-balanced dish in Korean cuisine. Number 1. Kimchi, fermented spicy cabbage. Korea's most iconic food, kimchi is a fermented vegetable dish, typically made with napa cabbage, radish, red pepper flakes, garlic, and fish sauce. It's spicy, tangy, and packed with probiotics. Kimchi is served at almost every Korean meal and used in dishes like kimchi jjigae, stew, and kimchi fried rice. With hundreds of variations, kimchi remains the heart of Korean cuisine and culture. That's our list of the top 10 most popular foods in South Korea. Which one is your favorite? Have you tried any of these delicious dishes? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more food content.
All right, y'all. So let me tell you what we're going to do. So I think it'll be a good idea that we do part 1 and part 2, right? So for part 1, we're going to go ahead and end it here. And so we're going to bring this 3rd chapter. This is my son here trying to getting all my stuff. Go ahead, boy. We're going to bring this 3rd chapter to a close. But I do want to take a moment for us to reflect on what we uncovered today. So we traveled through Zen philosophies of Japan's Washoku. We explored 5,000 years of Imperial Chinese traditions and sat at the royal court table of the Korean emperors. By mixing history with our studies of culinary cuisine, we are seeing a pattern. Food is the ultimate archive of human experience. We aren't just learning about ingredients, we are learning about the resilience, the innovation, and the deep-seated traditions of our global neighbors. Diversity is one of our greatest teachers. Today we prove that we can look past the plate and into the history. We find a world that is beautifully connected. We are growing together, not just as foodies, but as students of a massive world story. But like I said, the journey is only half over. So tomorrow I will be back for part 2, where we take this educational masterclass even further. And we will be diving into the hidden mosaic within Vietnamese history, the ancient 5 pillars of Thailand, and the 8,000-year legacy of Indian spice trade. I want to go ahead and thank you all for your energy, your curiosity, and for celebrating the history of the world with me. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the rest of this incredible journey. But until then, stay hungry for knowledge. I'll see y'all in the next stream. Thank you so much for rocking with me, y'all. We'll end it per usual like we do with a nice little bop. And then, we'll finish the part 2 on the food video tomorrow. I might have something a little bit later, but that'll be a different content, not the food stuff. But this one is kind of long because there's a lot of the history involved too. So I figured I split it up into 2 parts. But yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and put on a little bit of music. Actually, I made this one specifically for this live. So we'll listen to this on the outro, and I will see y'all on the next one. Thanks for joining. I'm out. Bye.
Yeah. You tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queen. Age 2.0. Let's get it. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Yo, welcome to the Queendom. Age 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. So if you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up of the scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Oh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned.
Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon, you've been warned. Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon, you've been warned. Yeah. Yeah. Golden Queen Age 2.0. The movement starts now. Go ahead. Hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. Welcome to the family.